Give me a number 1 through 255.
I wonder what this is. How about 2?
2. I don't think we haven't done any of the low numbers yet.
I don't think we have.
Oh, this could be fun, and this might actually bleed over into the real episode. We'll see.
Okay.
What TV show would you want to be in, and which one would you not want to be in?
Okay. I want to be in the TV show One Piece. And even though it's a great TV show, I don't want to be in... Well, I was originally going to say Severance, but there's a lot of those. I don't think I want to be in Invincible.
I also want to be in One Piece. I do not want to be in Attack on Titan.
Because I feel like Attack on Titan and Invincible have the same vibe of, if you're just a regular person, you're dead.
You're dead.
Die.
Yeah, you're gonna die. Yeah,
you know
1,000%.
You know where you're safe?
Junk house.
It's a psychobilly freakout.
Welcome back. Yeah, there's so many shows there are more shows I don't want to be in than shows I want to be in.
Same. 100%.
Because like
The Boys.
Don't want to be there.
No.
Do not. Do not want to have to live in a Vought. We kind of live in a world where Vought controls everything.
Truly. Vought is very similar to another fictional company that we were just talking about. And
You're so right.
They're very similar to the Umbrella Corporation. And I just kind of wanted to run down their history of the Resident Evil games because they're insane.
What is your history with the Resident Evil games first? Like, have you played all of them, or is this like a...
I have played none of them.
Really?
Yes. I need to play them because they're fun and great. I've watched a lot of people play them. Especially Smosh in recent time.
Yeah. I've played 1 through 4, and then I stopped.
Okay.
Because at that point, I realized that I didn't actually like horror. I was doing it to be cool. And then, so that's when I stopped.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're right. Umbrella is a lot like Vought.
Is kind of crazy. Like, because Vought's whole thing, spoiler alert, I guess, is that they're actually making the soups with the V juice and the V sauce. That great YouTuber. He's up in there. They gave him his powers. His powers of being so gosh darn smart.
And gosh darn funny. I like
bald.
that. I like that V sauce.
I love me some V sauce. I love me some V sauce.
Can I tell you my favorite V sauce bit? I know this is not has to do with Umbrella, but you made me think about this. He's on TikTok, but his username on TikTok is Corndog Willie. And anytime somebody comments that he looks like Vsauce, he says that he does not know who that is. And it makes me so happy.
I'm Corndog Willie. I don't know.
I'm Corndog Willie. I don't know who Vsauce is.
I've never even heard of them. I don't know what you're talking about here.
It makes me so happy.
That is so good. That is so good. Okay, do you want to... I think we should run down the timeline. If you don't like Resident Evil, feel free to skip this episode. But
we're going to talk a lot about Resident Evil.
A lot about Resident Evil.
I mean, here is like the way I would describe at least Resident Evil 1, right?
Okay, yeah.
And this is like very brief. Hit it. Team goes in to investigate why a team goes into a mansion to investigate why a different team never came back. Then throughout it, they start to learn, oh, there's monsters here. And then through a series of puzzles that range from mind-numbingly boring to slightly challenging, you slowly learn about the Umbrella Corporation a little bit. You don't really learn much about them. You just learn they exist and that they're doing shady stuff. And one of the people on your team, whose name is Wesker, backstabs you and tries to kill you and leave you for dead. But he gets kind of killed, but not really.
Not really,
And then
kinda.
yeah, like they show him quote unquote dying, but it doesn't work. And then the people who don't die and aren't Wesker escape and vow to take down Umbrella.
Yeah. So, like, the greater timeline of all of these things, right? So, like,
Yeah.
back in the old times of like 1920, right? There's the Spanish flu that's going around, and there's this lady back in the old times named Miranda. And her daughter dies due to the Spanish flu. Okay. So that Spanish flu also gave inspiration to the guy that made the Umbrella Corporation, Spencer. And
Yes.
he was like, yo, viruses are like really kind of freaking interesting over here. He mates Miranda, who is now immortal, who has now become immortal due to a fungus, which also allows her to shapeshift.
Yeah.
And he's like, I think like through, his name is Oswald E. Spencer. That's his freaking name.
Mm-hmm.
He was born in 1923, actually. So I think he might have been a little bit older. Might have been a little bit later after the Spanish flu. But yeah. Miranda's trying to, from the second her daughter died, and from the second she became connected to the Black God, which is what they call this fungus thing. It was trying to revive her daughter. There's so much. She like talks with Spencer. She like ends up talking with this shadow organization called the Connections. They like make a like imperfect version of her daughter in a creature called Evelyn. And like this is all has nothing to do with the rest of this is just 7 and 8. I'm now realizing. 7 and 8.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of wild because like Resident Evil lore reminds me a lot of. I mean, I referenced this before we recorded, but it reminds me a lot of like Metal Gear Solid lore, which I'm not gonna get into. But it reminds me of Metal Gear Solid lore in the fact that like so much of it matters, but also none of it matters. Like,
yeah.
It's like you have to know all this stuff for it to make sense, but you only need to know it's for things to make sense, which sounds weird, but it's kind of like you need to know this for context, but you don't really need to pay attention to it.
Yeah, because the whole thing is the Resident Evil is actually a zombie game series, like zombies of different kinds. And like,
yeah,
all you need to know is that there was this old guy named Spencer that made Umbrella. And you really don't even need to know that. But he liked bioorganic weapons. And he was a big asshole.
yeah. Like he was an asshole that made these viruses. And it's like, It's also one of those things where it's like you also need to know that everyone kind of sucks in this series. Like, no one's great. There are people that are good, but no one's great.
Yeah.
Because even if you think someone's a hero, they're gonna do something shitty. And even if you think someone's a villain, there's gonna be some reason why they're a villain that you're like, I kind of get it.
Like, okay.
Okay.
Like, okay, sure.
Okay, we get it.
Apparently, Spencer, he's trying to find this progenitor virus originally, right? And it's supposed to actually evolve humans. So, like, maybe his whole thing is he's like, I'm just trying to evolve humans, and the evolution of humans is zombies. And it's like, oh, okay.
I do like, well, that's like, this is something I like. Other zombie media has done this, where when it's a virus-based zombie, it's like a thing where it's not like they were trying to make zombies. We were trying to better humanity through a virus that we were going to modify to make advanced humans, and it didn't work. And now we're here.
Oopsie. Sorry, guys. This was supposed to give us 2 extra arms.
We were supposed to be Monkey D. Luffy's, and now we're all zombies.
Yummy time.
Yummy time.
Spoiler alert, in 7 and 8, you play as a fungus the entire time.
Yeah. Yeah, you play as like a fungus guy. And also 8 is also Village, right? It's like the same.
Yes,
it's like Village is the subtitle. Yeah. I've heard Village is kind of insane because it's one of those things where like it seems to be building up this whole other set of lore, and then it just says no, never mind. And that's what it's like builds up, and it's like, but what if this is all connected? It's not connected, it's just Umbrella.
Yeah.
It's still just Umbrella. Like, doesn't matter what, like, if you ever hear another evil corporation name when it comes to Resident Evil, it's just Umbrella. Like, that's all it is. It all goes back to Umbrella.
Everything goes back. Even Mother Miranda, she's old.
Yeah.
She's freaking old, dude.
She is very old. I will say, Resident Evil 1 is still a very good game. It is very frustrating because the save system is very stupid. Because you have to find ink to put into a typewriter. And if you don't have the ink, you can't save the game on the typewriter. So you have to then find it to save it. So you can only save a certain number of times. Does it tell you how many? No. But yeah. So it's frustrating, but it's doable.
Okay. And isn't there a remake of most of them at this point?
There is. I have not played the remake, so I don't know if they fixed the saving system. But hopefully they did.
Hopefully they freaking did, because Resident Evil, I need to go back and just play all of them because something entices me about lore that is just insane. And when the U.S. government blows up a city, like that's just, that's in the lore.
It is. It is.
That happens.
Yeah, they blow up Raccoon City for reasons.
Have you ever seen any of the movies?
No, and I'm terrified to see them.
Honestly,
not because I think they'll be scary, but I think they'll be very bad.
I think they will be quite awful. I'm looking on their letterbox right now. And we're gonna see. We're gonna freaking see. Because how many movies are there now? Resident Evil Apocalypse, Resident Evil Extinction, Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, Okay, this is not in order anymore, but Resident Evil Retribution, Afterlife, and Final Chapter, and Death Island. Oh. There's a few that are actually like Japanese movies.
Are these
The ones that I
these are
listed
ones
so
with
far
like
Huh?
Mila Jovovich, right? This was like they were like, this is how she's gonna be famous, is by being in
Yeah.
all of these movies.
Yeah, she plays Alice. A secret experiment, a deadly virus, a fatal mistake. Okay, let's make a little game. Which one do you think is going to have the highest letterbox
Interesting.
score?
Okay. I'm looking at a list of them so I can give you the names, just so you know.
Okay. I have them
I'm
all
gonna
open at this
guess.
point. Yeah.
I'm gonna guess that. Am I guessing for the highest?
Either or. You can do highest or lowest or both.
I'm gonna guess the lowest score is Resident Evil: The Final Chapter,
Okay.
and the highest I'm gonna guess is Resident Evil, the first one.
You are absolutely correct. Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah, Final Chapter is a 2.2.
Yikes!
Do you want to guess what a Resident Evil 1 is as the highest?
3.7.
2.9.
Okay, so they're all pretty bad.
They're all seemingly, yeah. So, like in order of movies. So, Resident Evil is a 2.9. Then it goes Apocalypse, which is a 2.6. Then it goes Extinction, which is also 2.6. Remember, these are averages. Then we get to Afterlife, which is a 2.5.
Ooh.
Then Retribution, another 2.5. Then Resident Evil, the final chapter, 2.2. Now, the kind of unassociated Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City has a 2.1. And a crazy cast.
There is, it looks like, some animated movies that actually do pretty well. Maybe. I'm looking at Rotten Tomatoes right now. I pulled those up. And it seems the animated ones are okay.
Okay.
Include Death Island and Damnation. They're apparently both pretty good. Resident Evil Damnation from 2012.
Damnation.
And it has Matt Mercer. So
I mean, freaking gotta.
Gonna be
Freaking
good.
gotta. Who does he play?
Leon Kennedy.
Oh yeah, he plays Leon Kennedy in the games too. I'm pretty sure.
What is a game that you played probably too young, but it's one of your favorites still? Or do you have an experience like that? Or it could be like movie you watched or show you watched too young, but you were like, yeah, no, that was incredible. And that's shaped part of my brain.
Did you ever play Marvel Rise of the Imperfects?
No.
I think that's what it's called. Marvel Nemesis Rise of the Imperfects.
I heard about that. It
looks like it was made in 2005. I played it on the GameCube. So here's the pitch. It's like aliens come to Earth and it's Marvel. It's like kind of like a Marvel beat 'em up.
Okay.
They add a bunch of new characters that are like infected by the alien devices. And as far as I remember, each of their like backstories that they showed are like really dark and are like the whole aesthetic of the game in general is like dark blacks and greens and like kind of just a nasty, stinky, nasty game. But yeah. Here, let's find this.
Yeah, I'm looking at the Wikipedia for it now. It's got an impressive list of heroes that's in there and villains. Man, this would be. Apparently, there was a sequel announced in 2007 that was then canceled.
Yeah. Yeah. That sounds about right.
I mean, this looks cool as heck. What platform did you play it on? I see GameCube, PlayStation 2, PlayStation Portable, DS.
I played it on GameCube.
Love the GameCube.
Very good game. Yeah, I can show you. For anybody interested, they have all of the like backstory cutscenes for each of those the characters that were made for the game on YouTube. Which those characters are Brigade, Fault Zone, Hazmat, Gianni Ohm, Niles Van Rokel, Paragon, Solara, and Wink.
Which I think some of those have had a life outside of that by now.
I'm probably.
Because I've heard of them, so...
Apparently, you could play as Daredevil and Human Torch on the DS. Yeah. What was that? What was that game for you?
So... It's a movie for me. Which... Okay. Because I was actually, I feel like sometimes I talk about games I played until 8th grade. Any game I played was at somebody else's house because we did not have games in my house until then.
Okay, fair.
So it was a very long time before I was actually like able to really play games. And by that point, most games I was able to handle fine. Okay, movies. Fair. My parents had two rules. One, I could read any kid in our family could read anything they wanted as long as our parents felt like they could understand what was going on in it. That was the only stipulation.
Okay. Yeah.
And the same went for movies. As long as we kind of knew like, hey, there's some stuff you don't say, some stuff you don't do, watch what you want.
Cool.
So Aeon Flux was something I watched at way too young of an age.
Very fair. Incredible movie.
Very good. Have you ever watched the show? The show that it was based on?
I have not.
It is worth watching. It is a very experimental animated show. That you could probably watch in like a couple days if you watch, a few episodes at a time. Because there's only 21 episodes I'm seeing.
Okay.
Very good, very weird and wild. Aeon Flux. I watched that movie probably too young. And now I've watched the show and I'm like, it's even crazier. And it's very weird animation, but
yeah, just looking at the pictures now is crazy.
It kind of reminds me of another thing. I loved this when I was a kid. Have you ever seen the old claymation Christmas movies by Rankin and Bass that was like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and A Year Without Santa Claus, all that?
Yes.
they made The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit way before, like back in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, that the like animated one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The animated ones. That's them. They're the ones that made that.
I did not know that.
And the art style of Aeon Flux reminds me of that.
That makes sense. That makes sense to me. The Hobbit is a very weird looking animated movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. The scene that is forever cemented in my mind from the movie is feet girl
Yes.
flipping and landing in the razor grass.
Yeah, that gave me nightmares as a child.
Same. And I didn't even watch the full movie.
Yeah, that movie came out in 2005, and I think I saw it 2006, 2007. It was on TV by that point.
Damn. We were too young.
We were too young for that. It terrified me. To the point where I forever thought that was just a bad movie. And I was like, I hate that movie. That's a horrible movie. And now I realize I'm like, no, it's not bad. I was just terrified.
I was just so freaking scared. That's the same movie where they make out to pass the information, right?
Yes.
Okay. Had to make sure.
Yep.
What a world. What a world.
Oh, man. Yeah. But that was just, I was also thinking about that because, like, there were so many. I feel like my parents got me when they finally got us games. They got us Nintendo because they knew the Wii was super popular.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loved it, and they were like, "Hey, this has a bunch of games where you have to get up and move," which just meant that my brother and I did not get any of those games because we didn't want to do that.
Fair.
But. They had the idea, and I agree with them, that Nintendo tends to make more family friendly games. Stuff that the whole family will like and enjoy. And so they didn't really have to worry about it.
Yeah.
But Resident Evil was definitely one that, even though I played that in high school, I still did not love it.
Stuck with you.
Stuck with me for sure.
You know another game that sticks with you, or at least stuck with me? Freaking the Psychonauts.
Yeah, I actually played it on your recommendation.
Okay, good.
And then watched a documentary on YouTube about the making of Psychonauts 2. That was a really interesting documentary. That you can just like Google or like look up making of Psychonauts 2 and it'll probably pop up.
I think I'm still in the credits of Psychonauts 2.
You are. I checked recently because I remembered that fact and was like, I don't know, look.
Did they change my name?
Yes.
Okay, amazing.
Because I remember you talked about how, about you. I remember you talked about how they changed your name on there, and I was like, I feel like I gotta support them because
it's cool.
It's so good.
Because it's cool.
It is so cool.
I did like Psychonauts 1 was like one of my favorite games of all time. Close to Kirby Air Ride, but not above. And so the second they were like, "Hey, we're crowdfunding for Psychonauts 2," it's like, oh, I can get the game and get it early, and also have my name in a game that's gonna be a great freaking game and have Jack Black in it. Sure.
Yeah. Also, it's called Psychodyssey. Double Fine Psychodyssey is the name of the
Psychodyssey.
documentary. It is like several hours of content all about the making of Psychonauts and Psychonauts 2. But yet, no, I have yet to like really find the game that I find worth backing. You know, if they try to announce Balatro 2, I'm gonna throw all my money behind that.
Mhm.
But I'm kind of envious of you because Psychonauts 2 was an incredible game, and then I got to the credits and I was like, "There's my friend's name." That's insane.
That's my name for the price of like a normal game. I think I paid like $60. I don't
That's
know.
crazy.
I basically just bought the game. And they gave me the game and my name. That's crazy. What is your favorite mind? What's your favorite level?
Oh, I need to look at a list to remember because it
Yeah.
has been a bit since I've actually played. Psycho. I'll tell you what, in Psychonauts 2, I did not love the teeth in the beginning. That freaked that was not my favorite.
Yeah, the teeth level was not the best.
But it was
But
it was still fun though.
And I think that was the point. Because like it was just not. It was gross. It was gross. Okay, yeah. So we
Nine
got
Minds, yeah.
Bob's Bottles. Huh?
Bob's Bottles, Cassie's Collection, Lucretia's Lament. Oh, yes. I think it was Lucretia's Lament that I was like, this is genuinely one of the. It was just designed so well and it was so childlike and crafty. And I thought that was just so much fun.
Yeah. Ugh. I don't know if I did it last year, but I would like to replay both of them every year, once a year. I think that could be fun. And I'm probably gonna start soon with the first one. I really liked the Jack Black world. The Psy King's
yeah.
Sensorium.
Yes. That one was really, really fun.
It was crazy.
And that was fairly
'cause-
early in the game.
I think so, yeah. Because his mind is like shattered, so it was like you were going on a band tour to pick up all of his different pieces of his mind, of his psyche.
Yeah, that one was really fun and trippy. That one, oh, that's right. Because that one reminded me of the animation of, if you've never seen it, it's a good show on Netflix called Midnight Gospel.
Mm-hmm.
And the animation from the Psychic Sensorium reminded me of that show a lot.
Yeah, that is an incredible point.
Do you have any other yearly traditions? Or ones you want to start?
That's a good question. HUD watches Evangelion every year, and I think I'm going to join him this year because I have never seen it.
I just started it last night and watched the first 2 episodes. It grips you pretty fast early on.
It fucking grabs ya.
It really does.
But no, I don't think I necessarily have any like yearly traditions. What about you? While I'm thinking of ones that I want to start.
I have a few like albums that I sit down and listen to all of once a year. Just like cut like beginning to end. One of those I highly recommend is Rain Dogs by Tom Waits. It is just, he experiments with what sound can be in that album. Because Tom Waits, as a artist, for a very long time was just like a jazz singer. And he was just known for having this like kind of gravelly but sultry voice, and was just, singing the standards. And then he just went wild and was like, I'm going to sound like a demonic cookie monster. And I'm going to record the music I've wanted to instead of giving a shit about what people think.
God.
And
wow. I love that.
It's really good. And like Rain Dogs has a good mix of like, he still sometimes has the jazz sensibilities, but he's got this range of voices where sometimes he gets this like weird cookie monster voice, as people refer to it online. And then sometimes he's just like this smooth rock singer. And then sometimes he's just whispering into the microphone and whispering the lyrics at you. And it sounds so intense.
I so need to listen to that.
Honestly, once we're done recording, if you want me to just show you a few songs, I can show you some Tom Waits songs to give you like a little taste of like what's crazy.
Okay.
He's so good.
It kind of reminded me, your explanation reminded me of Well, Well, Well by John Lennon.
Yes.
For those who don't know, the whole bit of that is like John just ends up screaming.
Yeah.
And like apparently the story, I don't know if this is true, but the story I had heard is that he was like he was screaming until there was like blood on the microphone.
That's what I have heard. Which who knows, but
who freaking knows?
All the Beatles
just screaming.
Yeah. I think honestly, of the Beatles, post Beatles careers, John's may be my least favorite. Like, I don't like a lot of his music post Beatles.
Yeah. I think that's very fair. I feel like he kind of went the most experimental, I guess.
I think so.
Maybe
because like Paul went very whimsical and weird, and you can tell which songs were written by who post Beatles. Like, you can tell who wrote which Beatles songs because like they very much stuck to their styles.
Yeah. Simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
Or even like thinking about Maxwell's Silver Hammer, you can tell that was written by Paul. Because post Beatles stuff, Paul is like writing like Uncle Albert, which is a song that is just insane. I love that song, but it is so like you have to be in a certain whimsical mood to enjoy that song.
Yeah.
Versus like, yeah. Oh man.
The freaking Beatles.
They're very good. I'm not a person that pretends. There are so many people that pretend the Beatles aren't good. They're dumb. They're very good.
Wild. It's a little wild, got to say. Because they're freaking good, yeah. I don't know why I'm doing this now, because maybe I'm a Beatle.
I don't know. You think about Liverpool.
Oh, I love me some Liverpool, mate.
Speaking of Liverpool, right there on the National Museum of Liverpool's website, you can find out which Beatle are you. So let's figure it out. Let's figure it out. Sammy, first off, what's your favorite color? Blue, red, green, or purple? You can choose no other options.
Yeah, out of those options, I'm gotta say purple. Gotta say purple.
That's fair. Next question. Where would you go on a holiday? Is it a beach in Spain? Trekking in the Scottish Highlands? Maybe a spiritual retreat in India? Or anywhere as long as you're with your friends?
Aww. Yeah, let's say anywhere as long as I'm with my friends.
Yeah, that's fair. Which car would you like to drive? A McLaren F1?
Whoa.
An Aston Martin?
Whoa, Ass
A,
Man Martin.
a Mercedes Benz? Or a psychedelic Rolls Royce?
Oh, so what makes it psychedelic?
That's a good question. I don't know.
I think out of those choices, I would do the psychedelic Rolls Royce because I'm
There you
interested in why it's
go.
psychedelic. Also,
Same.
do you remember when Post Malone rented out a Rolls Royce for one of his music videos?
Yes, I
He,
vaguely
like,
remember hearing this.
They did drifts in it, and Rolls Royce like called them up and was like, "Yo, you can't be doing this." So I want to get the Rolls Royce and it just be free. So I don't care and I can just drift in it and do stuff that they would be really pissed about.
There are actually some car companies that, like, even after you buy them, they like make you sign a contract of what you will and won't do, and I think that's insane. I think Rolls Royce
Yeah.
may be one of, it's like the really expensive cars. They're like, don't do this, don't do that. Like,
Okay.
oh, let's get to know
Also,
each other better. How do
real
people
quick.
see? Oh, yeah.
I know what the psychedelic Rolls Royce means. John
Uh-huh.
Lennon had a psychedelic Rolls Royce. I 100% want the psychedelic Rolls Royce.
I gotta look at this now.
It's like yellow and blue. It's got a bunch of different
That is pretty great.
psychedelic pattern on it. It's it's beautiful. It's beautiful. Okay.
How do people see you? Quiet, troublemaker, funny, or perfectionist?
I think you got to answer this question for me.
I think of you as a pretty funny person.
Okay. Bet.
Like, more than the other three options.
Oh, for sure.
Like, I would not
For
describe
sure.
you as a troublemaker or a perfect. Like, nah.
My
Pick your
ass.
dream home.
Okay.
A farm in the heart of the country, complete with stables. A
Okay.
grand house in the English countryside, not too far from London. A mansion in Los Angeles. Or a
Okay.
luxury penthouse in New York City.
I think
I know
you know
you.
the answer to this.
It's a luxury penthouse in New York City.
You had me at New York City.
Pick the perfect pet. A poodle, a sheepdog, a Russian blue cat, or a beautiful white Persian cat.
What were the dog options again?
A poodle or a sheepdog.
Let's go sheepdog. I think sheepdog.
I know for a fact Paul had a sheepdog. If you could star in a film, who would you play? I would play anyone. I wouldn't. I'd be the producer. I'd be myself, or I'd be a soldier.
I'd play anyone.
Very good.
I'd play anybody I want.
What do you like to do in your spare time? Painting, read a good book, watch movies, or gardening?
I guess out of those, I'd say movie. Gardening in a different term, in a different sense, but
Yeah. How would you raise money for charity? Through my own music, donate the royalties from my book, become an ambassador, or put on a charity concert?
I see if this lands with you. I'm thinking book.
Yeah, that makes sense. And if I'm feeling peckish after all of these questions, what do you fancy? A chip buddy, which, if you do not know, is a sandwich with French fries in it.
Okay.
Baked beans, a good curry, or jelly babies?
Baked beans, baby, baked beans. Especially if it's barbecue baked beans.
I love baked beans. How about some light entertainment? Which should we watch?
Okay.
Rupert the Bear.
Okay.
Monty Python.
Yeah.
Alice in Wonderland. Or Thomas the Tank Engine?
We gotta go Monty and the Pythons.
Big fan. Pick an instrument. Drums, but I can sing too. sitar, bass guitar, or guitar?
There's 2 guitar options. Let's go regular guitar. The second one.
It's time to go. Grab your coat. Are you wearing a loud striped jacket, a fur coat, a relaxed navy blazer, or a cropped utilitarian jacket?
Run those down one more time so I can stall and think.
A loud striped jacket, a fur coat, a relaxed navy blazer, or a cropped utilitarian jacket?
The loud. I feel like I would be the loud one.
I was going to guess that for you. You're Ringo Starr.
Whoa!
You're a natural comic and have a warm and easygoing personality. Underrated by some, you put your mind to one talent and work on it passionately. Your dry wit and sense of humor is a great relief to your friends and family. You love to be in front of the camera to show off your acting skills, and despite looking sad sometimes, you are one of the most cheerful people in your friend groups.
Oh. I like that. I like Ringo.
Yeah, Ringo's fun.
Okay, Caleb, BuzzFeed has a quiz called Which Member of the Beatles Are You?
Oh, okay.
So now we're going to see which you are.
All right.
According to BuzzFeed.
Okay. I'm going to go so fast.
Yeah, let's go. Favorite color: green, red, blue, purple.
Green.
Boom, boom. Pick a song. Every Little Thing, Help, Here, There, Everywhere, Rain.
Here, There, Everywhere.
Pick a pet. 2 cats. They're just pictures of cats, and then a golden retriever or a pug.
Pug.
Pick a gem.
Ooh.
Amethyst, ruby, opal, pearl.
Opal.
What type of friend are you? The peacemaker, the advice giver, the positive one, the shoulder to cry on.
This is up to you. I answered one for you. You have to answer this for me.
The thing is, I feel like you are all of these. These are not different enough because these are all. I'm going to say the advice giver. Which quote speaks to you?
Okay.
Close your eyes. Relax. Always the last day of anything is the first of something new. Being honest may not get you a lot of friends, but it'll always get you the right ones. It's being here now that's important. There's no past, and there's no future. All there is ever is the now. You either kiss the past or the future goodbye.
I mean, the "be here now" quote.
Yeah, that's what I was. Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. Which word describes you best? Affectionate but really small. Reserved but the text is really big. Party animal but the text is really big. Or philosophical but the text is really small. The text doesn't have anything to do. It's just funny that they're so vastly different.
I think probably of those 4, philosophical. But
I would agree.
Also, I just tend to overthink things, so that may be it. So
you are John Lennon. You're a leader. You fight for what you believe in, no matter how controversial your beliefs may be. You're a voice for peace, love, and equality. You try your best to resolve conflict and believe that love is the cure for all.
You know, I feel okay being the John. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, what's Cordell? I'm Ringo.
Paul. Let's be real. Cordell's the Paul. Like, Cordell has such... Oh, I don't know. He does have a little bit of George to him, though.
He's got the George sadness.
He's got the George like cutting humor because like one of my okay, so I watched a documentary over George Harrison a very long time ago. And are you familiar with his other band, the Traveling Wilburys?
No, I am not.
Okay, so Traveling Wilburys is an absolutely stacked band, okay?
Okay.
It is like the super group because it's George Harrison, Tom Petty, Bob Dylan, Roy Orbison, and Jeff Lynne from Electric Light Orchestra,
Okay.
which is like insanely stacked. Before the album could release, Roy Orbison passed away. And they only have one album, pretty great songs. But George Harrison called Tom Petty the morning Roy Orbison died and said, "At least it wasn't one of us." And that's it. That's all he said. And
my
like,
God.
I feel like I love Cordell so much, and this is not a knock against him. I can imagine Cordell doing that as a way to break tension and be funny for a second.
Yeah.
In a very good way. Like, it's just.
Yeah.
That sounds
after
like
everybody's
cried.
Well,
it wasn't one of us. Like,
at least it wasn't one of us.
Traveling but who am I missing someone in Traveling Wilburys? I'm gonna be upset with. Yeah, because it's only 5. Okay. Yeah. Just a wild group.
Absolutely wild group. Jim Keltner on the drums.
Yes. Yeah, because none of them really played drums.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. You know what else is incredible?
Our friendship. Our love for one another.
Yep. And yeah.
And the Reverends.
And the Reverend's Horton's Heat.
Reverend Horton and the Heats.
And they have a song called Psychobilly Freakout. That's our opening and closing theme song. And we get to use it. And it's great.
It's so freaking poggers, dude.
It really is.
You probably haven't heard somebody say poggers in a long time, have you, audience member? If you want to rate and review us on Apple Podcasts and also Spotify, you can do that. That would be great. Give us 5 stars. Leave a little comment on Spotify. Tell us you loved this episode. It was full of lore for a bunch of different random things. Yeah, we also got a YouTube. Check us out on there. Please give us a thumbs up. Hit that little notification bell so you get the notifications when the episodes drop every week. Yeah.
Yeah. We got an email. I'll read it. I'm not afraid. I'm not a coward.
Don't be afraid.
It said, "Hi there. When listeners search for absurdist humor on Apple Podcast or Spotify, Junkhouse appears as result 7. But did you know you also appear as result 31 for Shane Top?" So I'm glad we're the 31st result for Shane Top. And absurdist humor. What's so absurd about 3 friends being friends is what I have to say about that.
Exactly.
Maybe check yourself. Freaking people reaching out to us trying to make us pay money to y'all. We're not going to do it. Check yourself. It's not absurd to be friends.
I'm never. That is crazy that we are 31 for Shane Top. That we've just talked about him a lot.
I guess we also all if you took the 3 of us and forced us into one person, it would be fairly similar to a Shane Top vibe, I think.
Yeah, I think that's fair. And as we say every week,
we got to be pushing up to number 1 for absurdist humor.
I know.
We got to be pushing to number 1.
We're number 24 for Grace Cordell. I don't know who that is.
I have no
Got no clue.
idea.
Grace, if you're listening to this, please
Come on the show.
come on the show. We want to learn about you. We want to meet you. We want to figure out why when people search for you, if they scroll down to the 24th option, it's us. Shane Top, come on the show.
Shane Top.
It's a psychobilly freakout.